How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm helping coaches 7x their ROAS, work less than 4 hours a day, and generate over 50K in profit in little to no time, and blow up their Stripe accounts with payments like that, and that. I've worked alongside relationship coaches, mindset coaches, spiritual coaches, fitness coaches, breathwork coaches, and the list goes on and on and on. The fundamentals and the framework stay exactly the same. So let me make my face a little bit smaller here so you can see what I'm talking about. The method that we pretty much use in terms of the fundamentals are a mixture of tailored acquisition funnels, conversion engineered content, profitable ROAS driven meta ads, untapped backend automations, and world-class in-house appointment setters, right? Who pretty much book in leads that don't book in themselves. Now, in 2025, the time that I'm recording this right now, it's harder than ever to crack the organic code, get viral reach, and really just be able to rely on Mr. Zuckerberg's algorithm. Referrals are inconsistent, buying leads are getting more and more expensive, and soul-drenching manual work like emails, DMs, calls are just not worth your time. And it's just not worth it to get you new clients every single day. But with the Ascension system, we can predictably get in front of new eyeballs, the right eyeballs, every single day to generate new leads, new booked calls, and new sales for all of my coaches. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the Ascension system looks like so you can try it out for yourself. Now, this system is nothing like anything else on the market because most systems only leverage one lever, whether it's the funnels, the automations, the content, the setters, the ads, whatever it may be. But the Ascension system uses it all, right? Literally everything that we have here, it uses it all. It uses it all. That's why we've generated over 50K for one of our clients in less than 4 weeks. And that's literally just one of them. Now, before we start, this is not for new coaches or coaches that have never coached before. Will it work for you? Yes, but it will be a lot harder, right? This is very important, especially since we leverage your testimonials, previous client results, and case studies. So if you've got that in check, you're just a few minutes away from absolute breakthrough. And we'll go in depth on each topic, all the way from how to script winning content, how to set up meta ads, how to hire the right talent, and how to set up backend automations. Now, to begin, the Ascension system mainly leverages 5 key levers, right? First things first is conversion engineered content, tailored acquisition funnels, untapped backend automations, world-class in-house appointment setters, which is the cherry on top, and profitable ROAS-driven meta ads. Using a mixture of all 5 of these aspects, winning becomes inevitable. But if you've already got 1, 2, or 3 of these in check, and you're only here to learn how to either like set up ads or hire a setter or make funnels or whatever, just skip to that part of the video, but I'll be going through each one step by step. Now, let's begin with conversion engineered content, right? And boom, money, right? Let's begin with conversion engineered content, right? So this is where most coaches actually mess up. They make content without structure, without getting clarity on their offer, and without understanding their market. Most offers are made from the coach's perspective, not the buyer's / the client's reality. And how can you craft an offer from the buyer's reality if you don't even know what their reality is? That's why the first thing you need to do is conduct market research. How do you conduct market research? Ad library, and just literally ask ChatGPT. It's not that hard, right? You can even go on Amazon Books, but we're not here to do that. We're here to show you how to use that research and create conversion engineered content. And firstly, what you need is an offer for that. And in order to do that, you need to understand your market and craft or refine your current offer around the transformation that your ideal client is already seeking, right? And the way you do that is every single person's ideal client has a pain and a dream. Every single prospect, every single ICP, ideal client profile, has a pain and a dream, right? The offer must be crafted around the transformation from their pain to their dream, right? Figure out what their pains are and figure out what their dreams are. Then figure out the bridge / the transformation / how they will get there. And that's how you craft your offer. Basics 101. If you don't know much about this, just message me on Instagram and I'll send you a couple voice notes and I'll blow your mind, right? But once you've got that down pat, here's the exact content framework that we use for our conversion engineered content, right? What you need first is a hook, a pain-based hook, then an intro, which is credibility driven, then a pain-based connect, dream-based case study, and a soft call to action, right? Again, pain-based hook, credibility driven intro, pain-based connect, dream-based case study, and soft call to action. Now, I'm going to show you an example of one of the ads that we're currently running for one of our clients that are absolutely killing it. And in that ad, I'm pretty much gonna show you the hook, the intro, the connect, the case studies, and the call to action. So I'm gonna run it now.
If your child only gets your full attention when they misbehave, they'll start misbehaving to feel loved. Hey, I'm Holly, and I've helped thousands of parents over 15 years break cycles of yelling, guilt, and emotional shutdown so they could finally lead their homes with calm and connection. The truth is, parenting from fear, shame, or control, it never builds safety, but no one ever gave you the tools to do it differently, and that's not your fault. You've probably tried it all: parenting books, gentle Instagram posts, deep breaths that just don't work. Inside my program, we teach a completely different approach. Not quick fix scripts or rewards, but actual tools for your nervous system, your past trauma, and the emotional safety your kids are begging for. One mum came to us with a son who had been in therapy for 5 years. He was suicidal. Within 5 weeks, he was regulated, laughing, and most importantly, reconnecting with her in ways they never thought possible. Parenting doesn't have to feel like walking on eggshells. Click the link below and learn how we rebuild connection even if the bond feels broken.
Now that you've seen the video, you kind of get a better understanding of what I mean by the hook, intro, connect, case studies, and CTA, right? Soft CTA, click the link below to learn a little more, and that's where we go into the funnels next, right? Now, speaking of funnels, tailored acquisition funnels, right? So the thing about funnels is inside the funnel, you need to have one offer, one VSL, one call to action. You don't want to have multiple pages that these people can click on because clients, they don't know what they're doing, right? Prospects don't know what they're doing. They're doom scrolling, they're scrolling. They click on one thing. If they get hit with 10 different options, they're gonna get confused and they're just gonna swipe off. We need to only give them one option, and that one option is to book a call, right? And we need to give them one offer, speak to one ICP, and have one VSL. So the exact ICP that you're running here, the exact offer that you have is what the entire funnel is going to be based around. You don't want to have multiple offers. You don't want to have multiple products they can buy. You don't have none of that. There's only one thing they can do, and which is booking a call with you, right? Now, the main difference between a website and a funnel, right? Most coaches are like, oh, I have a website. No, not a website. You need a funnel, right? The difference between a website and a funnel is so crucial. It's so crucial because a website is basically you telling, hey guys, this is what I do. Look at all these things that I do, blah, 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 blah. The purpose of a website is to show off what you got. The purpose of a funnel is to sell, right? You have one offer, one call to action, and one VSL. What is a VSL? It's a video sales letter. We're going to get into that. But a clean funnel with one offer, one VSL, one call to action, no other links. And a VSL is a must. Right? What is a VSL? It is a video sales letter. What does a VSL do? It pre-sells, it pre-qualifies, and it pre-warms prospects before they book in a call, right? So pre-sell, how do you do that? Using case studies. Pre-qualify, how do you do that? Qualification statements. What is a qualification statement? This is for you if X, Y, and Z. Now, the qualification statements are so crucial because this is how you disqualify people who don't have the money to invest / aren't in a position where they can actually transform their lives. So you need to have specific qualification statements in order for you to disqualify people who aren't a good fit and further affirm and qualify people who are a good fit. So they'll be like, oh shit, this guy's speaking to me. And that's the whole purpose of the VSL. And that's the whole purpose of the funnel, is that when people come on the funnel, when people watch the VSL, we want them to feel like, holy shit, this guy's talking about me. Now next, the other purpose of the VSL is to pre-warm. And this is where you share your past experiences and connect with your story. Because look, people buy from people. Right? People buy from certainty. People buy from people. People buy based on emotion. So you want them to feel something. You want them to connect with you before they hop on a call, right? Because there's no point hopping on a call with someone who's completely cold because it's just not going to sell. Your close rate is going to be trash, and you're going to feel bad because you can't close any calls. But it's not your fault. The middle of funnel just wasn't there, right? Now, the funnel structure. This is what's so freaking important, right? The way you structure a funnel is you want to have the punch at the top, with an off, then your offer statement, then a pain reversal subheadline, then your VSL, then a risk reversal, and then a CTA under that, call to action. Then testimonials, then another call to action, then what to expect, then another call to action, more testimonials, call to action, who am I, call to action, more testimonials, and then a call to action, right? Now, you want your entire funnel to literally just speak to one person, like I mentioned before. One person. Are they a mom? Are they a dad? How old are they? How many kids do they have? What do they do on the weekend? figure this all out and you wanted to speak to that one specific person. Now, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you an example of a funnel that we made for one of our clients that is printing cash, right? It's for the same client that we showed you that short form video for, just because we want to keep everything the same so you kind of get an understanding of what the entire structure looks like. So let me hop over and show you exactly what their funnel looks like. So this is the funnel here. Watch. First thing we had was the punch. Right? So I'm going to go back and forth onto the doc. So first thing we have is the punch, right? What do we have? First thing we have is the punch, right? That's the punch. You don't need to be a perfect parent. You don't need a perfect parent, just a present one. Sorry, your kids don't need a perfect parent, just a present one. Punch, boom. Short thing, punch straight to the gut, right? Then is the offer statement, right? Which is learn how we help conscious moms reconnect with their children in 30 days. Typical. Alex Ramosi, right? And then we have pain reversal subheadline, right? Without this, without that, without this. Boom. Then we have the VSL, right? This is the video sales letter that we help them make, that we help them script. You can do it yourself. It's very, very, very simple. And then we have the testimonial, and then we have the risk reversal and then the CTA, right? Boom. VSL, the guarantee, call to action, booking a call today, right? What do we have next? We have testimonials, right? We go here, testimonials, right? And then boom, call to action. What do we have next? What to expect on the call. In the call, I'll show you. And then boom, call to action. And then what's next? Testimonials, more testimonials. And then boom, call to action, call to action. Then who am I? To further connect with long form copy, right? And then boom, another testimonial. Another call to action. And then what's next? Testimonials. Boom, more testimonials. Call to action, more testimonials. Call to action, more testimonials, call to action, more testimonials, call to action, more testimonials, call to action, right? But we only give them one option. You don't see any other links here. Do you see any other links? No, you don't. You only see one thing that they can click, and that's to book in a call today, right? That's it. Now, that's the tailored acquisition funnels in a nutshell, right? Now, what do we have after the tailored acquisition funnels? We have the profitable ROAS-driven ads. Because you can have the funnel, you can have the offer, you can have everything, but if you have no leads coming in through the funnel, then it's just pointless, right? It's just completely pointless. So how do we structure profitable ROAS-driven ads, right? And this is how we do it. So this is the entire structure. You run a lead form campaign with two separate ad sets. One is a broad ad set and one is a precise ad set, which is interest targeted. And you just run two ads at the start, two very similar ads, right? The only difference is maybe the hook. You change the hook a little bit because we got to test different things. You don't want to change too many things up, because if you change too many things up, you don't know what's working and you don't know what's not working, right? So you want to make sure that you're testing one thing at a time so you know exactly what works and you can get more precise on what works and let go of what doesn't work. Now, what I'm going to show you now is how to actually set up the ads itself inside the ads manager. Cool. So how do you create an ad, right? First thing you want to do is head over into your ads manager, just click on create, and then you want to click on leads, continue, right? Manual leads campaign, always, right? Set up a manual leads campaign, and you don't want to set up a budget at this level. So let's name this instant form. So my name is Pranav / instant form / this is the June 2025. Then you don't want to turn this on. You just want to scroll down, and that's it, right? Now head over into the ad set setting. Now what you want to do is name this broad. My name is broad / instant form. Then you want to just go in here and click on instant form, right? You want to select the Facebook page, and you want to set a daily budget of $20 to $25, right? Set the start date to the next day and make sure it starts on 0100. So it starts right at night. Since this is broad targeting, what you want to do is you don't want to set anything. You want to set the countries, obviously, the countries that you want to target, but you leave everything as is, right? You want to leave Advantage Plus audience on, and you just leave everything as is, right? You don't want to touch anything. You don't want to do anything. Next thing you want to do is you click on this and you just duplicate it. Duplicate the ad set. So now you have two ad sets, right? So this one you want to say targeted. Targeted. Now this is where you kind of go down here, same budget. And you want to essentially, this is where you can, again, you add your locations, and then you want to click on switch to original audience. right? And then you can create a new audience. And right here, you want to set the age, right? Depending on who you're targeting. You're targeting parents, then they're probably like 29 to 50, 29 to 50, right? So it depends on who you're targeting here. And then in terms of the detail targeting, this is where you put in demographics, right? So you just got to figure out, so whoever you're coaching, right? Like you put in the detail targeting here. Like I can't really tell you because it depends on your niche, right? So depending on your niche, this is where you put in the interests and behaviors that people might have in your specific niche. Now, everything else, leave as is. So do that. So now you have two. You've got instant form, you've got broad, and you've got targeted, right? Then within each one, you want to have 2 ads. Duplicate that. Continue. You can also just quickly duplicate. Just click on. They don't have quick duplicates. Just duplicate like that. And you just want to name it whatever. Add 1. And then add 2, right? And then add 1. Should be add 2. And then add 1. So add 1, same videos and same videos, right? You want to go here, single image or video, and essentially just go set up creative and add the video there. Boom, easy, right? Next up is you want to create a form, super easy form. You want to create a form. You want to select more volume. You want to just name it whatever you want to name it. Click on next. You don't want to use a background image. I usually don't. You can set up a greeting as well, set up a headline, and a description. Next. You want to keep these full name, email, and phone number, which is phone number is super important because this is what we'll give to the cold calling team. Put in your privacy policy, xxx.com, whatever. And it should be your website, right? And then at the ending, you can put in your headline, the description, right? The thanks, you're all set. You can personalize it if need be, and then click on go to website and make sure that the link is to your funnel, right? Now, I'm not going to save this because we don't really need that right now. So that's pretty much how you set up an ad form. And this is how you set up the ads that are going to print you cash. Now let's take you back to the board. So that's how you set up profitable ROAS driven meta ads, right? ROAS driven, because you want to track every little bit of metric. And this way you can test multiple creatives and not burn through cash and figure out exactly what's working and be precise with what's working and take away what's not, right? Now, next step is the untapped backend automations, right? So there's only a few that you really need, literally a few that you need, right? You need email booking reminders, you need SMS reminders, and lead form to Slack appointment setting for the appointment setting team, right? So you need to have Slack already set up at this point, but it's really easy to do. So email booking reminders is, did I spell email wrong here? No, I didn't. I'm tripping. But yeah, so these are the reminders you want to set. First is when they book. Then one is 24 hours before, which is kind of like a my story email. That's further going to nurture them before the call. Then one is 12 hours before. The other one is 1 hour before, and one's 10 minutes before. SMS reminders, you want to send one again when they book. 24 hours before, which is kind of reminding them, hey, I sent you over a my story email. I definitely recommend taking a look at that. One again, 12 hours before, and another one 10 minutes before their call. Right. And this one is just to notify the calling team when the lead form is actually filled. So these are just the automations that you need to run. You can either do it to Slack, you can do it to GHL, you can do it through anywhere, but these are the most important ones. You don't want to overdo it. You can also run a further nurture sequence for people who haven't shown up to the call, but just to keep it super simple for simplicity's sake, these are the ones that you need. Now, I personally do it through Calendly, and I also set it up for my clients in the GHL, but you can kind of do it however you like. If you want more information on this, just message me on Instagram, and I'll send you some tips on how to do it, but I don't want to go too deep into the back end stuff. I'm just telling you, this is the gold mine here, right? This is the gold mine, right? Now, the next step is what you've all been waiting for. World-class in-house appointment setters, right? So what do you do? How do you get world-class in-house appointment setters, right? Super, super easy. First thing you want to do is you want to hire them, right? And I'll show you exactly below how you hire the A players, right? Then you want to train them. How do you train them? What do you do in the training phase? You onboard them, right? Number one. Then you share your vision, the vision of your company, right? Because we're not just building a coaching business. We're building an empire, right? Then you share your script with them. Then you listen to their calls and you give them feedback, right? That goes straight into this next step, which is motivate. How do you motivate them? You do check-in calls 3 times per week minimum. right? You want to give them performance-based bonuses. And the check-in calls, obviously, this is when you can give them feedback and listen to their calls, but this is where you can also motivate them. You can ask them about how their life is. It doesn't have to be like a boss and an employee type of dynamic. You can literally ask them, well, how did they spend their weekend? The more and better connection you build with them, the better you're going to be able to lead them, which I'll show you there as well. And motivational quotes. Send through some motivational quotes, right? And just having good energy on the check-in calls. No matter what's happening in your day, you want to have some good energy for your check-in calls because they're in the trenches dialing for you, right? Just remember that. Now, lead. How do you lead properly? Is you promote from within, you hire slow, you fire fast, and you want to use Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I love Maslow. It's so good. It's so good. Let me take you through it, right? So, what Maslow basically says is when people are at their jobs, they have certain things. It's like a pyramid, right? They have certain needs that need to be fulfilled, right? Once one need is fulfilled, they start looking for the other ones, right? When people usually come and work, they usually have their physiological needs met. They have food, they have water, they have warmth, they have rest. Then they look for security and safety, right? Security and safety is also usually met because they're getting paid, right? And remember, you can actually hire these callers on a commission basis as well, so they get money per close, so you don't even have to pay them a base salary. You just pay them a good commission per close and they'll be more than happy to work, right? So with the safety needs, they usually have that because you're paying them. Next up comes belongingness and love. This is where most people fail. This is why most people have callers for a few days and they don't have them anymore, right? This is where you will excel, because I'm telling you, what you need to do is when you're on the check-in calls, you want to connect with them, right? You want to have good energy with them. You want to ask them how their weekend was. What did they do? How are their kids? What's their favorite TV show? What's their favorite food to eat? Whatever it may be. Because this is how you give them a sense of belongingness and love, right? This is how you become friends with them, right? Next is the esteem needs. Feeling of accomplishment and prestige. Whenever they do something good, congratulate them. Give them a bonus. If you have 2 callers on your team, bring them on a check-in call together and tell them, hey, X person did this last week. Give him a round of applause. He's going to feel good about himself, right? Esteem needs. Be human, right? We're all humans at the end of the day. And lastly is self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. This is where we promote from within, right? Once someone's safety is met, belonging is met, esteem is met, the last thing they want is progression inside your business. Promote them to a head of sales. Give them more responsibilities. Give them a bigger cut, right? And this is how you keep A players, right? A players want self-actualization. They know what they're worth. So give them what they're worth, or else they're just going to go somewhere else, right? A players are crucial because one A player is worth 100 B players, right? Maybe not, but still, one A player is worth a lot, right? It is worth a lot. So give them what they're worth, right? Now, hiring A players. How do we hire A players? This is the exact framework that I've been using for the last 12 months on how I hire my A players. Firstly, go on websites like Online Jobs PH or Upwork, LinkedIn as well, and this is the platform that you use. And you want to post a job, and you want to use copywriting framework, right? You want to sell the dream, and you want to hit the pain, right? It's just exactly how we did with the offer. Then you want to shortlist them. How do you shortlist? You ask them for the CV, and you ask them for a Loom recording, right? And you want to use the Loom to understand their English proficiency, which is so important. And you want to ask them to talk about their experiences in similar fields, right? So something you can say is like, hey, could you send us a Loom video introducing yourself and why you would be best for this role, along with telling us about your prior experience in similar roles. So before you even interview, you've already shortlisted them. So you don't want to waste your time with interviewing people who aren't even a right fit for the team, right? After that is you book in a meeting with them. Then in the interview process, you want to use the interview script/framework. I'm going to give you a bit of a framework below this as well. But most of the interviewees at this stage are qualified. Just pick the ones you personally like / your gut tells you are the good ones, or the ones that align with you the best, right? And remember, always record all the interviews. Whoopsies. Remember, always record all the interviews, right? Now next, you send over a contract right before the interview and the hire. So right before you hire them, you send over the contract, and this is the email template that I've been using, right? Hey, first name, we looked at everything. We'd love to have you on board. Email us back with your best email to add onto the Slack team channel. Secondly, look over the contract attached in this email, sign it, send it back. And for the pay, obviously, we want to get this information so we can pay them properly. And you also want to send them a little video of introducing yourself and the team and your vision and your mission statements, and sending them a 5 to 10 minute video just explaining what you do, right? This way you don't have to explain it on the onboarding call over and over and over again for each new person that you hire, right? You want to record that. Excuse me. Next up, you want to send them the scripts, and you essentially just want to send them the scripts and the KPI trackers, whatever it may be, whatever you may use, right? Then you tell them that as soon as they reply, you'll add them onto Slack. Now, they're going to sign the contract, send it back, and then you want to move all the conversations to hire. You want to move all the conversations to Slack. And this is essentially, they're hired now, right? Now, you want to add their tracking sheets, shortcuts to your drive. So any tracking sheets that they, what I usually do is I send them a tracking sheet, I tell them to duplicate it and then share it with me. And then I add that onto my drive, right? So I can track how many calls they're doing every single day, right? Next is the onboarding call, where we onboard, we ice break, and we set expectations. And this is crucial. You want to set expectations right off the bat. Right? You want to set expectations like, hey, I want you to be doing these many calls this week, then these many calls next week, then these many calls the week after, right? And you want to ice break as well. You know, some similar questions you can ask that I usually ask my team is like, what's your favorite thing to do on the weekend? What's your favorite movie to watch, right? It humanizes the situation and you immediately hit the belongingness, right? Immediately, right? Right off the bat, first call. Sets a really good expectation and tone for the entire team, right? And you want to use, you can use a script. If you want these scripts or the post-call email, okay, this is the first call email here anyways, but if you want the script or whatever, just DM me on Instagram. This video is going to go too long otherwise. But this is the email that I send usually. It's just, you know, here are the logins and the regions to dial, email, dialing region, login, blah, blah. They can sign it to Gmail. So it's all automated, right? Because you don't want to keep doing it over and over again, right? And this is where you share drive access and make them a KPI lead scrape list, because they scrape their own leads too, right? If need be. And plus for inbound, it's even easier. Then week 1, you want to do training. And this is where you kind of do Q&As with them for the entire week, and you do some software troubleshooting with them, right? And you also want to have training videos, right? So any software stuff, like showing them how to sign into the platform, how to dial, how to add contacts, you know, how to dial the right contacts, how to be notified when inbound leads do come in through the ads and the lead forms. You want to make videos on that, so you don't want to keep telling them over and over again, right? So I have like literally 10 videos that I just send out to them. I tell them to watch it. They're all like 5-minute videos, so they can get it done in an hour, right? And I tell them to take notes and bring it to me on the first call that we do. And then obviously you want to do daily check-ins. I do daily check-ins with my team. I mean, 5 days a week. Do 3 minimum. 2 minimum, bro. If you do less than 2, then your team's just not going to perform, right? It's lonely out there, right? They're just sitting in their desk with the headset, calling all your inbound leads, right? It's a tough gig, right? You got to be a bit human as well in that sense. But that's pretty much the entire process on how to hire A players, right? Now, next up is important interview questions that you want to ask. This is for the interviews phase. Ooh, right there, right? What do you like to do outside work? Crucial, because this is going to tell you exactly what type of person that they are. Do they like to do dangerous activities? Do they like to go motorbiking? Are they a risk taker? You know, it's like if they're saying they're a cold caller, but all they like to do is stay at home and watch movies, and they're introverted. It's like, ooh, I don't know how you'll be in cold calling, right? It's like, what do you like to do? Oh, I like to hang out with my friends all the time and do this and do that and do this and do that. It's like, if you're doing all of that, then who's going to stay home and do the calls, right? So there's a lot of questions that you can ask and get a better understanding of them and their psychographic and their mindset. And, you know, sometimes they tell, I like to read books. I like to, you know, I'm really into business. Watch videos about sales. It's a good fit, right? For me personally, because that's how I like to hire, because I'm into mindset, I'm into business, I'm into sales, right? Now you ask them, tell me about your experience in cold calling and what particularly draws you to this field. And this is the thing is, what draws them to this field? What I love about this question is it's going to tell you one of two things. Number one, most of these people are in it for the money. And the best callers that I have are the ones who literally told me, I'm here for the money, man. I'm here to make some money. I'm here to make some cash. Those are real people, and they're really confident, and they really trust themselves. And that's exactly what a caller needs, right? The next is, what motivates you to stay committed to a commission-based role? So if you are doing a commission-based role, you ask this question right off the bat. So, you know, you set the expectation, right? And what do you do when you feel like giving up after a difficult day? This kind of tells you how they recuperate, right? Maybe they hang out with their kids, they watch a movie, they play some games, whatever it may be, right? Have you worked in a commission-based role before? Again, reaffirm. Then what do you hope to achieve in your first 3 months in this role? And why do you think this role is a good fit for you, right? Really, really important questions, every single one of them. Now, where do they use a dialer, right? Power dialer, you want to run it on GHL, right? So power dialing is super simple on GHL. So let me take you onto my GHL and show you what it looks like. Cool. So this is the exact one that I use, right? So as soon as a Facebook lead form is completed, it gets assigned to a user and it gets added to an opportunity in the pipeline and it gets manual called. This way they can automatically dial all the leads by itself. And then it updates it to call number 1, right? This is crucial because now it says, hey, you've already called this lead twice. It changes the tag and it updates the contact field, which is number of cold calls done, to 1. And then it waits 5 minutes and it gets the outcome of the call. Was it a follow-up call? Not interested. Did they ask for an email or was it a no pickup? Now, if they ask for a follow-up, it sets a follow-up reminder for your caller to call them back up in a later date. If they're not interested, then remove the tag and move them to DNC. If it's email, then we automatically send them an email, wait 10 minutes and send us SMS follow-up. And we set a follow-up task and they go back to the follow-up automation here. Now, if it's a no pickup, then we call them again. Same automation. Again, same stuff again. And if it's again a no pickup, then we call them again. And we call them up to 3 times. And once the third call is done, we just move them to DNC. And that's pretty much how we do it. Super simple, super easy. I don't want to go too much into this because I know this video is already going to be like 25 minutes. But if you want more information about that, please do let me know. But it's really, really simple. Really, really, really simple. You can even run an even simpler one. You don't need a power dialer if you're getting less than 10 leads a day. But our clients are getting a lot of leads, so that's why we need to run it like this, where we can set all the inbound leads into a power dialer, right? So it all just depends on what you're kind of going after. Now, pretty much, this is the Easy 50K framework. Easy 50K framework, right? Ads into the lead form, into the funnel, into the VSL, into the qualify, into the booked call, into the close. Now, the people who don't go to the funnel get sent straight to the appointment setter, who then books the call, and then they get closed, right? Now, the best part about this is that it's fully automated and it's less than 4 hours of work per day, because this entire system is running while you're sleeping, right? This entire system is running while you're at a party in Marbella. This entire system is running while you're sipping on some wine in Paris, whatever it may be. This is the entire system broken down into absolute simplicity on how I've helped my coaches 7x their ROAS, return on advertising spend, work less than 4 hours a day, and generate over 50K in profit in less than 4 weeks. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please do let me know on Instagram. I'll put that in the description below as well. If you want a time to speak with me, you can book in a time below in my Calendly. I'll put that in the description somewhere if you have any more like intense questions or something like that. And yeah, if you do want to work with me or whatever the heck, you can also do that. Book in a time with me on Calendly. But apart from that, this was a really long video. I hope this was of value. I really tried to make this as valuable as possible to everyone watching this video. I tried to keep the production quality up as well. I know I'm yapping a lot right now, but if you stay till the end of the video, really, really honestly do appreciate you staying till the end of the video. It means a lot. This video was really hard to make because I had to essentially just give out everything, number one. But it was super fun to make as well. So I hope this was of a lot of value to all of you, and really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.